Hey there, this is Casey Kerr again from Find Your Roar, Roar! And I'm here in video number 2 discussing my brand new group coaching program called Healers Can Make Money, which can be found at healerscanmakemoney.com/program. So in my last video, I talked a little bit about the difference between your vision for your business and your reality, and some of the frustrations that you might be experiencing in your healing business, like not making enough money, not having as many clients as you want, as many paying clients, not knowing where to focus your energy and trying to do so many things that all seem like a good idea, but they don't really get you where you want to be. So today we're going to talk about why you're having this experience and maybe an answer to the question, what am I doing wrong? So first of all, let me just say that I totally understand that frustration, and I understand where you're coming from. If you have heard my story or you've read it on my website, then you know that I have experienced firsthand the same kind of pain, frustration, fears, anxiety, doubts, all of it that you're feeling, and I totally get it. I spent the first few years of my business feeling that way. Easily the first few years of my business feeling that way. And I thought that it would get better once I quit my full-time job, because I figured that I would have more time. I would have time to focus on everything I wanted, because I definitely believed that not having enough time was one of my problems. It really wasn't. And it's probably not yours either, even though it seems like it is. So I thought it would get better when I quit my full-time job, but it didn't. It got worse. It got worse before it got better. And I'm trying to save you from all that. So that's my hope for you, is that you don't have to go through the first few years of your business feeling like that way, because it's crappy. Nobody likes it. I definitely had sleepless nights. And one of the stories that I like to tell in my workshops and when I meet with people in person is my dark night of the soul story. And we all have them, and I've heard some great ones from other people, so here's mine. When shortly after I quit my job, I had a great job as a contract recruiter, and I was making really good money, but I knew that if I didn't follow my dream and pursue it full time, that I just would never get anywhere. So my husband Johnny totally supported me, and I quit my job and I started to focus all of my time on my business. And despite all the action I was taking and all the things that I was doing, it wasn't happening. I was getting no clients, I was making no money, I was racking up credit card debt, and I was putting debt on my husband's credit cards that he never had before he met me, so that didn't feel very good. Anyway, one night I woke up in the middle of the night in just a cold sweat, sheer panic. I'm getting emotional thinking about it now. I just needed to get up and get out of the room. I felt like I needed to cry or scream. My husband snores like a maniac, so I wear earplugs. And that's germane to the story, because when I escaped into the bathroom, I just started to cry. I started to sob, and because I had my earplugs in, I thought I was being quiet as a mouse. Turns out I was not. And while I was, head in hands crying, all of a sudden Johnny tapped me and scared the bejesus out of me, and I jumped. And he didn't have any idea what to make of me sitting there, crying like that, sobbing for what seemed to him like no reason at all. And I just really felt like, oh my God, how can I do this to this poor guy? If you can see how emotional I'm getting now telling the story. But I felt so overwhelmed, because my dream was putting us into debt, and it was awful. It was so horrible. And he was so great, and he just assured me, it's going to be fine. You're going to have everything that you want. You're doing everything right. It's all going to come together. Trust me.
And I don't know if he believed that or not, but he made me feel like he did. And that really helped, in the moment. Fast forward to, months later when I was less emotional, but things were still not going any better. And I just was at my wit's end. Deep breath. What I now know is that I had two major problems. The first one was that I had absolutely no idea how to manage a business, how to market and promote a business. And the second one was that I had emotional blocks that made me doubt myself. It kept me from taking the actions that I needed to take, including making an investment in myself and getting the support that I needed. And generally, these blocks were just blocking me from what I wanted. It took me a really long time to recognize those major problems. I mean, remember I told you that I spent the first few years in my business in fear, doubt, and anxiety. Well, once I finally recognized those major problems and got support for them, everything totally changed. So now I want to ask you, what are the major problems that you're having in your business? What obstacles do you see in your business? And I want you to write them down, because in my next video, I'm going to tell you all about the biggest blocks that women healers and business owners face in their business, and help you to see how they're sabotaging your business right now. So if you get a minute, after you write those down, I'd love to ask you to take a peek at my program at healerscanmakemoney.com/program. And until then, I wish you big hugs and a big roar. Roar!